Hey everybody, welcome back to the NC State Insider Podcast. I'm your host, Tucker Sennett, and your lead beat writer for NC State on SI. Back again for another episode here today. And by the time this episode comes out, we will be exactly 1 week away from the NC State Wolfpack football season opener against the East Carolina University Pirates. Exciting times. College football comes back this Saturday with a week 0 slate. Really exciting stuff. We're ready to get back into it, ready to get back on the gridiron and watch some college ball. So I figured in honor of that 1 week gap, I'd you know, sort of go through what to expect from that ECU game. Just hitting the bullet points. We'll be talking a lot more about this game next week as we get a little bit closer. But I just got my media pack. I'm ready to go. It's going to be a great season opener and a great way to start the college football season, especially here in North Carolina. So we'll just go through some quick bullet points. The first one. Expect a big crowd. This is going to be it's a home opener. It'll probably be, I mean, the game is sold out. You can get resale tickets on SeatGeek and secondary sale, distributors like that. But it's going to be an enormous crowd. ECU travels very well and they get after it. So highly recommend getting to the parking lots early. Have a good time, enjoy yourself responsibly before the game starts, and then get into that stadium so you have a chance to experience that atmosphere at Carter Finley to its full degree and celebrate the college football season being back. It's a great time of year. As for the game, let's talk about the game. There's going to be some chippiness, and I know East Carolina doesn't have as many players coming back as NC State does from that game last year. Um, the quarterback is back, Caden Hauser. He sort of a similar, and I'll talk about this in a little bit, but sort of a similar trajectory to CJ Bailey. So that could be something to monitor as an intriguing matchup. But there's going to be some chippiness for sure between these two teams. NC State does not like this East Carolina team, and they've, all off season have had to listen to the noise about losing that 2024 Military Bowl game in pretty disappointing fashion. I don't want to say embarrassing, but you had the brawl at the end of the game. Most of the players involved in that, I'm pretty sure all of them from NC State are now gone. So there shouldn't be any residual fire from that, but there will certainly be some chippiness between some in-state rivals on Thursday next week. So that'll be something to look out for. Back to the quarterbacks. These two guys are on the Manning Award watch list. They're both coming off of seasons where they weren't the starter going in, plugged in for different reasons. Bailey for Grayson McCall's injury, Hauser just because things were sort of falling apart for ECU, and then they fired their head coach, interim coach turned the season around. Hauser went 5-2 as the quarterback and tallied over 2,000 yards in just 7 games, I'm fairly certain. And showed he could be a starting quarterback after sort of riding the pine at Michigan State and then looking to be a backup again at ECU. Took over, figured some things out, had a great game against Army, and sort of saved the Pirates season last year and led them to that bowl victory and raised the bar for that program that it has been pretty solid since joining the FBS ranks and has been a good American Conference program. There are some interesting new faces for the Wolfpack that have faced ECU before. You got the two Temple transfers on defense, Jamel Johnson and Tra Thomas. Johnson being a defensive back and Thomas being an edge linebacker combo player. Both will probably get some reps in this game for sure. They both came over from Temple together, another American Conference team that did play the Pirates a year ago. Temple lost; they got blown out. They were one of the worst teams in the country, um, and lost 56 to 34 to ECU a year ago. So it'll be interesting to see if those guys sort of, Jamel Johnson has said this is his get back game. Um, haven't spoken to Thomas yet. So I think those guys will certainly come out with a little bit more of an edge, maybe some familiarity with what ECU wants to do. I'm not sure if ECU had made the coaching change when those teams played a year ago, but certainly could be something that's in play for the NC State defense in terms of stopping this pirate attack. Finally, this is you got to set the tone if you're the Wolfpack and Dave Doran here for this season. You really, if you're gonna be bowl eligible, and if you think this team can win more than that 6 game mark, you have got to start this season strong. You have to take care of business against ECU. And then, you have 4 or 5 winnable games, and you don't have to leave the state of North Carolina until you go to Notre Dame for that game. Um, so it's just you have to start the season strong, and then it's going to be about avoiding that late season slide that NC State's had to deal with throughout Doran's entire tenure that stops them from getting over that 9-win hump. So I'm not saying that this team is capable of winning 10 games or even 8 games. I haven't really dove into that yet fully, and I'm not going to cast any sort of predictions right now before we even see them play a game. I'll probably do that maybe the night before this game happens. But if you want to even have hope of that, you have to win these first 3 games, and they are winnable. They're against weaker competition, and it starts with ECU. And this every member of this program talks so much about being where their feet are and looking at the game in front of you, the opponent in front of you, and not looking at the grand scheme of things. And that's great. I think that's a quality mindset that most football teams have. But if you have bigger aspirations, some of these guys think they're the best defense in the ACC. They were far from that last year, and if they want to achieve those goals, you have to you have to dream big for sure, and you have to execute in those first 5 games and prove that you're capable of achieving those goals for us to even acknowledge them. That all starts against ECU next Thursday. It's a 7 p.m. kickoff at Carter Finley Stadium for the start of the NC State 2025 football season. Should be an incredible, incredible atmosphere. NC State will be looking for that win, avenge that Military Bowl loss, regain control over this rivalry with ECU, and, move on. Look forward to the next opponent. We'll dive in more over the course of the next few days ahead of that game, obviously throughout next week. Probably we'll have some more details from the coaching staff and from other players talking about the matchup as we get a little bit closer. But for now, that's all I got for the NC State Insider podcast. Thanks for tuning in as always, and feel free to follow on social media my personal account at Sennett Tucker, as well as the Wolfpack on SI account at Wolfpack on SI. And also throw a follow to our YouTube channel where you're watching this video. Subscribe to Sports Videos on SI for coverage of pretty much everybody. We have coverage of NFL, other college football. Great stuff coming up down from the road in Chapel Hill. My colleague Grant Sacharay's got some great content coming about Bill Belichick and that program if you're interested. And Lots of great stuff coming from sports videos on SI. As always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for tuning in to the NC State Insider Podcast. Have a great day.